Hello everyone and welcome to the long-awaited World Tour. Today we are going to be updating our World Tour from the last one, which is I think my very first video, at least on this world, and I felt like we could do better. Give people that are joining in late a better jumping off point as to what is in the park, and I just felt like having a run around in everything we have made so far. So that is what we'll be doing today. I hope you enjoy, and if you feel like it, please like this video and subscribe if you haven't already. Let's get straight into it. So as you may remember, at the end of last episode, or maybe not at the end, in the last episode, we had a little competition going on as for the name of the park, which was either Fern's Fossil Park, Fern's Formerly Fossilized Fauna, and Fern's Paleo Park. I ran a poll in my Discord, which you can join with the link in the description. And the winner... Oh, I broke the floor. The winner is Fern's Fossil Valley. Look at that. My very talented friend Mimi made this, and I will post her Instagram in the description below. Like, she drew this. Ain't that crazy? This is now the logo of the park. How cool is that? Really cool. Well, let's get started now that everything is out of the way. This is the park entrance. This is one of our more recent additions, and I really enjoyed working on this. We have a nice circular shape going on, so it really wraps around you as you enter, with a big Therizinosaurus statue here and our logo. And on both sides, which is still a work in progress, we are going to be having like a cafe and maybe a shop of some kind on this side. Then we have our toilets over here on both sides, which are still a little underdeveloped, but it's not really a high priority. Let's make our way inside. You come here and you buy your ticket at the desk, and if you already have one, you go through the middle. You scan it at the gate and you enter. And then for the staff, they can go in here and go behind and then take this neat little water elevator up into the administrative area. These are all the desks of the people working here, including my office, which I thought is pretty neat, with a nice chair here, a nice big desk, some skeletons and doodads from the mod, and a very nice piece of fan art on the wall. And on the other side, we have a little lunchroom, break room thing. You can get your snacks here while you're on break. Have some couches so you can lounge. And now, let us enter. Also have a big antenna looking thing. And this is one of those turning exit doors, which I quite liked. Then when you come inside, you don't really have a whole lot of options yet to go, but there is a road going that way, work in progress, and this road just needs to be connected that way, and then it's also done. This is a map of the park. It gives a nice overview, and it's just basically the map we have here. Screenshot it. And we are currently right there. I made the screenshot while I was standing there, so it has the little blue icon of like you are here. And the first thing you will see is this, the petting zoo, our most recent addition. I made some slight adjustments to it because I had some problems. First off, the Ankylosaurus and Triceratops. I removed all of the fossils out of this hole and just changed it to like a open air geode looking thing. Because as people rightly pointed out, having fossils here of dead animals right next to the live animals would be a little bit strange. So here we have our little guy, tiny little Ankylosaurus, who's hiding. And here we have the other one, and Triceratops 1 and 2, who are perpetually babies because I fed them stunting essence. Then next over here we have our Gallimimus in various stages of growth. I think we have 7 in here, some of which have very nice and light colors, others darker, and some have this nice red feather pattern going on. This is what it looks like from above. It's like it was supposed to look like a racetrack because Gallimimus likes running, I'm pretty sure. So it kind of made it look like a horse ranch of some kind. Here inside they can have a nice sleep with some benches for whoever wants to sit here and look at them. And since it's a petting zoo, anyone can just walk inside through this little airlock gate. Then finally over here we have Protoceratops and Cetacosaurus. So here is the Protoceratops, nice and small, even though he's fully grown, I believe. That one has some colors. And this is the Cetacosaurus, if you would turn to kindly face me. Very cute. Have a little overhang over here and some food troughs here with curtain rods as the barrier, I guess, or the edge of the trough. And then that is exit 1, which doesn't go anywhere yet, but roads will be connected here eventually. And over this direction we are going to go towards the Cretaceous corner, as I like to call it, since we have the T-Rex over here. You walk down this road. Now over here you have a secret little... Oh, that's not what was supposed to happen. Okay, they're back. It's fixed. Here you can feed these two. They will breed a baby, and the baby will follow a trail over to that there, which I will demonstrate in a little bit. Here we have a nice and raised walkway where you can see the T-Rexes. We have 3 adults and 2 juveniles, all named of course. And the other one should be probably right below us. Nope, he's over there. And it's already getting night again. At first I had this whole area open because it's like a nice waterfall with like a big lake. But they tended to only get stuck, like all of them, in this corner. So I built a big wall here so they can still drink but not go into that corner anymore. And now you can actually see them from the viewing areas. You finish walking this path. You come across a giant T-Rex skeleton fossil that is put on display right there. And a nice looking sign that tells you what it is, in case you hadn't noticed yet. And over here we have a nice and big mixed herbivore enclosure, which includes Triceratops. And let's see if we can see another. Well, let's just go inside. Well, here we have grown-up Triceratops, Ankylosaurus, and Pachycephalosaurus. They all tend to stick in the southwest corner because sadly that is just Minecraft behavior. But look at this brightly colored head of us. We have more here. It just rained, really? But they are breeding. I have some skeleton horses over there because that just happened. We have a whole bunch of nice looking palms. And a big waterfall, which you would be able to see nicely if it wasn't raining. But there's like different streams. It splits off at the top here. Then it collects at the bottom, and it's very much inspired by The Isle, if anyone's played that. So that was this big enclosure. Then I think we are going to be making our way towards the visitor center, which has gotten some little upgrades since the last time you guys have seen it. I was busy doing some renovation work because a lot of the visitor center was a little neglected, I'd say. Quick pit stop in between. Over here, there's a nice and raised viewing area where you can see both the T-Rex and the herbivore enclosure, with these interesting looking binocular stands where you can like kind of look through. So here you can see a T-Rex right there, and also on this side the Trex and the Ankies and the Packies. There's another staff access right there. Now let's get to the visitor center. This is my visitor center. It's the very first thing I built in this world, I'm pretty sure. That's like anything that really matters. And this is what it looks like. It's built after or based after the visitor center from Jurassic Park, of course, because I felt like it. And now let's head inside. When you enter, you are greeted by a nice and big Tyrannosaurus skeleton like in the movie, and all around you are different kinds of skeletons and other decorations to make this look nice. This is one of the older logos, which is just the same but slightly reorganized. Here we have a whole bunch of skeletons, and now something no one has seen yet. I made a gift shop. So as you can see, this gift shop has like a whole bunch of shelves filled with what are meant to be toys, which are like tiny little skeletons. Over here you have a whole bunch of fossils and little gems that you can buy. You have fossil or bone helmets here that you can buy. Here are all kinds of fossils as well. So these are like Ice Age animals and post-dinosaur fossils. So that's a Megalodon, that's a Megalosaurus, Megalania, a whole bunch of megas. Here we have a couple display cases with some of the more expensive items like amber, Dominican amber, and a scarab gem. These are display cases from the display case mod. I'm pretty sure I might be mistaken there. These are some nice vases or bowls. I made this thing to look like one of those things that rotates that you usually buy postcards in and stuff like that, and I put the DNA in here of the creatures to have it look like stickers, maybe like if you want to buy stickers or patches. Here we have some more archaeological stuff like these replica swords or replica helmets. You come here, ding ding, I want to buy this please, and you take it with you. I added these ceiling fans all over the place and a couple more skylights and some nice and large vases. Here we have our dragon egg and a whole bunch more archaeological finds and a dragon head. This used to be my storage room. I also changed this, which hasn't been seen before. This is now a nice little cafe in the back. So here you can get a drink. I put an analyzer here to act as a coffee machine. Like imagine that being the water tank, and then you put the cup there and then you press the button and it works like that. Then you can order here, which somehow opens that, and we have a whole bunch of storage space in here. Nice, a lot of flowers. I changed the windows and added windows to the side. We have a little menu looking thing and a whole bunch of seating. Then before we go out the back door, that rhymed, we have the upstairs area, which also got a little bit of a makeover. Here we have, if he doesn't escape. Oh, no, he can't escape because I put him in a boat, because I remembered. This is our home paleontologist, archaeologist, researcher doing research in his new office in one of these top domes. He has his little desk area here with a whole bunch of books with a whole bunch of kind of stuff in there. A carpenter's workbench, which I used as like a little table for cleaning of fossils, and there's a Megalania head. Yeah, Megalania skull in there. More fossils there, clock, cobwebs because it's dusty, and a big Mosasaurus skeleton up here with some tablet art on the walls. That is room 1. This is the roof exit. And in room 2, a little bit more basic, but this is supposed to be like my bedroom. You could just go here, you can sleep, enjoy the view on all sides, like that over there, the aviary, if I don't fall, the farm, and the reptile area. Now let's make our way out of the back door. Also, we have a nice looking Ceratosaurus skeleton up there. Then behind it, we have a bunch of stables with a couple animals, like sheep, cows, and chickens. Here we make our food and our crops. We have a chicken farm over here and a wool farm over there, just so we can supply the whole park with everything it needs. And then on the other side, we have the Dodo enclosure. There is one right now. Let's see, is it this button? Yes, it is. There he is in all his glory. The glorious Dodo. These guys tend to escape a lot, so it's a little bit on the annoying side. There's a sliding door to get in. Then we have this nice red light for the like a heating lamp or something. We have an indoor area where they can play with a ball there, and the outdoor area where they have some water, a pumpkin to eat, feeding trough, and a little sand area to either play or poop in, whatever they deem nice, I guess. There's a little side wing here where I have my super smelter, my resident Failuresaurus, which is basically just a big slime farm, and some composters, which I don't really use. And on the other side is my fully grown Gallimimus. There used to be a whole bunch of stuff in here, but I swapped it out. This is my big Gallimimus sitting here in a little horse paddock, never to be touched again. Maybe. I don't know. I wish it were a little bit faster, then I might use it more, but right now it's a little bit on the useless side. Then we come over here, which is to the right when you come in the visitor center. So that's where we came in. And then you go to the right, and then we have a little plaza here with a fountain adorned with a little skeleton where you can look into the Diplodocus enclosure. These guys were my first experience with mobs that wouldn't come out of corners. This is these are one of the creatures of all times. I made them this nice looking, like a dried lake bed with a whole bunch of vegetation and dried trees and a whole bunch of cool stuff, like this tall herbivore feeder, and they all stick in this corner the whole time, which is unfortunate, but alas, what are you gonna do about it? So those are the Diplodocus. There's another tall herbivore feeder over there, the design of which I got from the Jurassic World Evolution games. Oh, well, the design is based on that. Here we have my compies that are all relaxing in here. A couple are sleeping. This one's awake. There's a feeder right here and a log that they can walk through. A little cliff area here. A whole bunch of vines leading into water. Look at this guy. He's like living his best life on the edge of the rock. They have a ball they can play with, and there's a bunch of dripstones all over the place. Here is another little tree stump. So like it looks like this one fell over and went over there. And that is pretty much this enclosure. They also have this scratching post that they can play with and get some enrichment out of. This is the way I exit. I have to double jump with my wings so I can fit through the little gap. Then over here we have the Dryosaurus. Those two are kissing. There's another one. I think there's 5 in here in a relatively small enclosure, which I feel a little bad about. And there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I might still change this around, but I already did that once, so I don't know if I really feel like it. With these two out of the way, let's make our way over to the lab. We have another one of those antenna up here, and this is how you enter. Just a little sideway off the main path. And this is my lab. This is like one of the first things I made as well. Episode 4 or 3, I think 4. And I made use of colored lighting from Complementary Unbound, or Complementary Shaders, just in general. These are like big incubator looking things with skeletons inside. And we got this guy. Did he come out of the cultivators? I forgot, but he's called Cordyceps. And he is our perpetually stuck lab assistant. He likes it there. This is my analyzer setup. So this is where I put in the biofossils. And then I get DNA, which goes all the way in here. I analyzed a whole bunch of wool, so that's why I got a lot of sheep, llama, and goat DNA. I have a whole bunch of plant fossils over here. And all of these culture vats I have broken because I use them too much. Then sometimes I will put multiple pieces of DNA in this dispenser and then hopefully get a random result out of it if I can't really choose what I'm gonna make next. Then over on this side we have our sifters. So you put dirt up top here and they will get sifted and you will get fossils and stuff like that out of it. And this is what it looks like from the outside while it's nighttime. This is one of my favorite builds I've done. This really is one of my favorite places I've built. I love the incubators. I love the lighting. I love everything about it. So let's close this behind us. Oh, which it did automatically. And, do we go... I think we go this way first. This is the aviary, which hasn't had its own proper video, I think. Yeah, I don't think so. It was just there one day. So this is what it looks like. It's loosely modeled after the aviary from Jurassic World Evolution 2 or 1? 2, right? The first one didn't have aviaries. This is how you enter. You go up the stairs and then you have this walkway that you can like see through and which lets air through as well. And then here you have the pteranodons. This is what it looks like on the inside. You have a whole bunch of them. There was one point where I didn't know that you could turn off like them automatically breeding. So I would have like 18 of them in here and they would all be starving because the food just instantly ran out. There's a whole bunch of pillars in here with nests on top. There's a nest there. This is like suspended from the air so they can land on there and there. Some dead trees and a feeder up there in the other nest. And we have a little waterway streaming off into different pools so they can swim and have a drink. There's also another platform right there, which used to house a feeder, but they didn't really know how to get up there. Then we have this little piece, which doesn't really suit any purpose, but I just thought it was pretty because this place was like a natural cliff when I leveled this whole area out. So I made a little waterway going past here, ending in a big waterfall that looks decent-ish, I guess. That is my aviary. I still want to do more and maybe bigger aviaries for creatures like the Quetzalcoatlus and whatever. But maybe I'll wait a bit with that because it's not that high on my priority list. Also, as you may or may not have seen, I uploaded a video recently where I got invited to the official Fossils in Archaeology creator server. We got early access to the 1.20.1 version of the mod, where we can sort of test things out and play together with a whole bunch of other mods and just have a good time. So I released that video, so if you haven't seen it, go watch it. It's a whole lot of fun, and I'm basing with Lorikeet, so if you like his videos, you'll be seeing a lot of him. Here we have the Allosaurus. This again, I think this was my episode 1 actually. Oh well, my quote-unquote episode 1, because I did things before that and then called it my episode 1 because I hadn't been really labeling my... I did... Really? You walked into that. This was my episode 1, quote-unquote, because it's the first time I really felt like, wait, I can actually do this as a series. I can really do this, because I've been posting all of my builds on the Fossils in Archaeology Discord server, and people were just liking it a lot and asking a lot of questions. So that's how I made my first video and basically explained what I did, and that kind of took off. And then I made more, and people just kept liking it and subscribing, And now we are at like 1200 subscribers, which is pretty crazy. By the way, if you haven't subscribed yet, do it. Do it now. Do it now, or the Allosaurus will get you in your sleep. Speaking of which, here they are. We have 3 Allosauruses, and they are just chilling in the jungle. I have not tamed these guys because you need to almost kill them and then give them a scarab gem, but I wasn't that rich, so I didn't want to risk that whole process. This one has a more colorful crest than the others, so I'm guessing this is the male. I swapped all of the jungle trees out for these cordaites, because ever since I got the bushy leaf resource pack for the fossils and archaeology trees, I've just been absolutely in love with them, and I've been using them all over the place. And that is the Allosaurus enclosure. Especially early on, this is how I did my fences. And I quite like how they turned out, but one thing with these connectable chains is that they have a tendency to disappear sometimes. So that's unfortunate, but I found a workaround, which is if you have chunk loaders and load the chunks that the 2 endpoints of the chains are in, then they won't disappear. So now that is this corner of the park finished, or well, not finished, but shown. I still have plans to make a pathway all the way through there, hooking up to that side, and then we can make a whole bunch of stuff here. So yeah, expect way more videos. I'm not done with this place yet, and as soon as the 1.20 version of the mod is more stable, then I will update it and I can add even more mods, and I might just add in create, since I have a whole bunch of ideas of things I can do with that. But we do have create in the fossils and archaeology SMP, so I already started experimenting with that. Here we have our Dilophosaurus. We have 2 of them, and I think we had 3, but I don't know where the 3rd one went. So either he escaped or died or something else. So here we have Amber and Denise. Denise as in the female version of Dennis Nedry, the guy who died in Jurassic Park by a Dilophosaurus. And it's called Denise because it's a female. Then over here, we have our very, very lonely Ceratosaurus. This enclosure has been recycled over and over again, and it's kind of like a temporary holding pen. It's nothing special. It's just like a bit of a raised platform with a waterfall leading into the ocean, with a dolphin apparently. And at first this had Theracenosaurus in it, then it had Triceratops in it, but then I felt like those both needed their own really special places. And the Ceratosaurus at first was in this one, which was way too small. So I put him in here, and the other one died during the move, which was very unfortunate. So now this guy is perpetually alone in here. So maybe I will get them a little friend. I have more of these fences all around. And this is how you get out. This is the exit for the Dilophosaurus enclosure. And now we are going to move on to another one of my favorite builds in a second. Because first we have a little food joint, food tent over here. Here you can go in, order a burger or something, or a piece of chicken, walk back, pick a seat, and enjoy the nice shade under this canopy. And then as soon as you're all filled up and happy, you can bring back your plates and enter the Mosasaurus lagoon. Here is a Mosasaurus skeleton, and it leads down into these tunnels that are all connected to the other side. Here we have one who is looking straight up. So this is the first part you can see. You can see a nice full view of those around you. And there's another, or that might be the same one. I added some signage, like don't knock on the glass. Oh, there's one. Sorry if it's a little dark. I think the sun might be setting, so that's why. Yeah, I added this image as well, so you can see what it looks like and get a sense of the scale, even though it's much bigger than this. Another viewing window on this side. There's another. And inside we have a whole bunch of coral all over the place. Some blue, pink. We have some pirate treasure and some big bones here deep in the trench, along with these carcasses of the prey of these mosas. Then if you're done on this side, you can go down here, walk down this long tunnel, where you have another viewing area. Usually it's not this dark. That is just because I think, yeah, it's nighttime. Usually the visibility is a little bit better, but it might just be the shaders. Yeah, without it you can see a whole lot more, but I just prefer the shaders, so we're keeping them on. Let's go up here. This is one of the areas I'm still working on. It's this is going to be a little sushi place, like underground, and then you can go over here and have your little sushi plate or a ramen bowl or anything like that. Just a little Asian seafood restaurant over there. Not that ramen is seafood, but you know, it fits the vibe. And I guess this is one of the best viewing spaces because the sun is coming up right there. This guy's just kind of nosing down. But yeah, these are the Mosasaurus. And this is what it looks like from up top. The exits also still need some work. This will at one point connect like the same way on that side, with like a little tunnel entrance, and then connect to the path over here. Then over here on the beach we have, let's see, where are they? We have some Parasaurolophus. So I put them on the beach because of one episode of Prehistoric Park. Prehistoric Park? Yeah, Prehistoric Park. Where parasaurs were drinking on the beach and then they were attacked by Deinosuchus. So I felt like putting them over here. We have a nice and large beach area with 4 of the parasaurs right here and one that is just somehow always getting stuck behind this wall. And over here we have a bit of a sweet water source, or oh, not sweet. Here we have a white. Here we have a fresh water source, so they can drink something other than seawater. This is their little cave that they can sleep in. And they can eat the grass and chill in the shade underneath the custom palm trees. Then at the end here, we have our aquarium, which is also still a work in progress. We still have many expansions to do. This is what it looks like from the outside. I'm really happy with how this turned out. From above, we have a nice and big fish mosaic and a lookout point right there. So let's head inside. This is what the vibe is like inside. We have these nice jellyfish looking lamps, seats all over the place. And then in the middle, we have some information about the Achilolumna. The Achilolumna. Lamna? It's an interesting name to say the least. But we have this scuba goggle shaped aquarium right here, with like 5 of these guys and a feeder right in the middle. A whole bunch of pretty coral all around. And over here in the big tank, we have Hanodus, or Hanodus, which is a type of prehistoric sea turtle of some kind. Then we go up here and we can enter this place. Put the bridge down. and we can go inside. We have a little bit of sunken treasure with a bubbler underneath, so it, like it sounds, produces bubbles. With a skeleton right there. And these guys are, as far as I'm aware, pretty content with where they live. So yeah, that's basically the aquarium for now, apart from these default vanilla fish. These are just some smaller aquariums with, like I said, vanilla fish, so it's not really anything special. Same with that one. It's just tropical fish I found along the way. And here we have a Mosasaurus skeleton lookout point, where you can have a look at all of the parasaurs. Then we have one of our other absolute giants over here. So you exit this place and backtrack a little bit of the road, which leads to a dirt road, which still needs to be replaced. And this little canyon leads down to the Spinosaurus. You go in through this gate and you get greeted by a little mangrovey swamp area. And then somewhere, oh, I can see hints of a sail. And over here we have our Spinosaurus called, what are you called again? Dan, that's right, Dan. He's just vibing in here. We have a mangrove area. We have our other Spinosaurus called Hatmehit. And we have a bit of a plains rocky area and a big beach. We had another Spinosaurus earlier on. Its name was Shrimp. But sadly, they are no longer with us. They perished. So they will never be forgotten. Rest in peace, Shrimp. There's a couple more places we need to see before we are practically finished. Again, a little overhead look on this place. We have some walls over here connected by chains. These aren't rendering because I'm too far away. On top we have another big antenna and like a fluid tank. This is what the lagoon looks like from up top. I finally finished the back. So yeah, for frequent viewers, you may have noticed that I did a whole bunch of work off camera, like the gift shop, the back of the lagoon. I started work on the cafes, and there was visitor center, for instance. Just a whole bunch of little things that make this place more alive. Let's see, did we miss anything over here? I believe that is all of these guys. Let me check my map to be sure. Check, 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 check. This is all viewed. And that leaves this area, which is the bugs and reptiles. Let's land here real quick and take the path. This leads to another side entrance of the visitor center. And this is the bug house. The bug house is also one of the first things I made. You go inside. This is what it's shaped like. It's like a hexagonal flat dome top, which I was really happy with. And when you go inside, we have Arthropleura, the giant centipede, which is kind of playing in the water. And I really, really like how this turned out. It's so atmospheric. It's so nice. There's another couple Arthropleuras. And we should also be seeing... Oh, there he is. A Meganeura, which is a giant dragonfly. Oh, suddenly I see all of them. There's one over there, one up top. And the atmosphere in this place is just absolutely incredible. I based it after like a little swamp area, so there's a whole bunch of shallow water, fallen trees, dead trees, vegetation absolutely everywhere, and a green roof, which just gives it a very humid and warm, rainforesty, swampy feeling. That is the bug house. Then finally we have this area, which is mostly reptiles in different varieties. Actually, I don't know if these are reptiles. I'm not sure, actually. I'm just saying things. But this is the Dilophosaurus. It has a nice and big sail on its back. It's a herbivore, and it's chilling with its sheep friend. And on the other side, after I sleep... Never mind, not yet. On the other side... I could probably sleep as soon as I get here. That's better. On the other side, we have... the Metrodon, which we have 3 of. One right there, and one right there. Let's get a closer look at this guy. He's quite big, actually. Move a bit. There we go. Nice and giant thermo-regulating sail on its back. Very pretty. I remember when I first made this, and I said it was from the Triassic, and then I was wrong. And then everyone came after me. And then I needed to cry. And then I cried myself to sleep. No, it was a minor mistake. What should we do first? Megalania or Sarco? What do we want to end on? Let's end on the Megalania. Here is the Sarcosuchus, which is a giant crocodile. We have a big swampy enclosure here as well, with a underwater viewing area and an up top viewing area. Let's start at the top. There is one of them, one of the giants. I made a bunch of these big willow trees, which I really, really love. The way they turned out, absolutely perfect. And then there should be, well, there's 2 others right there. And maybe 1 other in the back somewhere. There should be 4 in here, I'm pretty sure. Let's have a look downstairs. There is 1, 2, and 3. Let's get a closer look at these guys. This is Silly. This is Greg. With nice and big teeth. This is Polo. Like, instead of Marco Polo, Sarco Polo. And this is Nepoe. I really like this enclosure. I feel like a broken record because I've been saying that to all of them. I feel. All of the enclosures I didn't really like, I have mostly changed already, so that's why it's the way it is. This is the outside area of the Megalania enclosure. I put some of the Megalania skeletons outside in a little desert area. And then when we go in, we have this little mini mesa biome with a couple Megalania right there. So you can view it all the way from around here. Take a seat and have a look. There's a dead Sarco skeleton right there. There's some red vines. There's a mineshaft entrance right there. Some logs, dead tree, waterfall. Basically all of its needs are met in here. At first I also had a little contraption in here where I had a chicken right there, and when it would lay eggs, its eggs would shoot straight up and fall back down. But the Megalania weren't so keen on eating them, so at some point there was just like 10 chickens in here. So I killed them all and shut it off because sadly it wasn't working as expected. I think I kind of breezed through everything already. Yeah. This was, as far as I'm aware, the last area I hadn't shown yet. I feel like time really flew by. But I've been talking for like almost 50 minutes at this point. So I don't know how long the YouTube video is going to be. Probably like 30 to 40 minutes somewhere after I cut away all the dead noise and whatever. Yeah. That was basically it. Of course, more episodes will be coming. I'm still planning on doing a bunch of major upgrades and nothing. I just kind of forgot to speak at this point. I will end this episode in the location that we started our very first one. So, thank you for watching today's video. I hope you enjoyed the tour. I hope you maybe got some inspiration out of this, or you just thought it was an enjoyable watch. Again, I can't keep saying it enough. Feel free to subscribe, and while liking the video will also do a whole lot. check out the first episode of the Fossils SMP together with a whole bunch of cool people, and join my Discord. And I think that's all I have to say, really. If you guys want a world download, I'll try to provide that in the Discord as well. If there is any demand for it, of course. Otherwise I'll just keep it like this. But yeah, thank you for watching. Like, genuinely, thank you for watching. You made me be able to play this game for hundreds of hours again and keep motivation, keep finding new things to do. So I'm grateful to you in particular, you listening to this. You. Guys, see you next time. Bye-bye.